Our last round of Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Racing was a wet and wild affair in Pennsylvania. And when the four-rider duel to the end was over, Chris Borich had another victory. More mud and rain is in the forecast this time. Will Borich be able to clean himself off with champagne again?
Playing in the dirt, face full of mud, sacrificing flesh and blood. Playing in the dirt, digging in the ground. Oh, now I'm asking you, where you gonna be when it all goes down, 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 down?
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Racer TV. Jason Wygand, your host. It's the Can-Am Grand National Cross Country Series, visiting one of its most traditional stops. We've been here for a long time in Athens, Ohio, and Sunday Creek Raceway, and the fans are lined up to get autographs from their favorite Grand National Cross Country racers. A lot of fast riders from this area of the country. Let's go down to Krista Shaw to talk with one of them.
Adam, you've had a pretty decent season so far. You haven't quite been able to pull off that win yet. Have you made any changes in your routine to maybe be able to make it up on the podium today?
Nah, not really any changes. We, as you know, I've been signed up with a personal trainer. The team ended up getting me a personal trainer. I've had him for about 2 months and it's been working a lot with him, and seems to be helping a bunch, and I'm really excited and ready to go. As far as the bike goes, the bike's been the same since North Carolina, so it's been working, but you know, it's really hard to do some testing and stuff that we need to do just from the long distances we have to travel to see each other. So it's, in a sense, yeah, I'm ready to go, but in another sense, I'm a little nervous.
Taylor, you've been running up front pretty much all season long. At this point, what is your main focus?
You know, I've been coming up a little short in second place. I mean, I finished second 5 times this year. Been on the podium pretty much all the races, and you know, my main focus is just trying to, you know, get out front early and, you know, hopefully pull away with these things. I mean, getting really frustrated being in second, and you know, I mean, second's good, but just not quite good enough. So hopefully we can get it back up in the middle of the box this weekend.
All right, Chris, you've had a great season so far this year. You've won all but 2 races. Are you feeling pretty good going into the race today?
Yeah, I feel pretty confident. It looks like it's going to be a fun day. Hopefully the rain holds off, but mountain bike the track, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty fun track out there today. So hopefully get a good start, get up front, and then see where we end up.
Thanks, Krista. Well, Chris Borich, it did look like a fun track until this happened. About a half hour ago, the rain started coming down, and now that everybody's gathered at the starting line, it is coming down really hard. And they've actually decided to delay the start of this race a little bit, give everyone an opportunity to reset themselves, scrape some mud off the tires, put some more duct tape on the machine to protect it. So now everyone's racked and ready to go, but what was going to be perfect conditions are now going to be even muddier than what we had last week. This is going to be wild. Let's go racing. They're battling into the first turn. It looks like the 15 of Pickens got there first. He's been nailing starts all year long on his Yamaha. And there he is. Jeff Pickens out of Uniontown, Pennsylvania in the lead, and immediately hits one of those sinkholes on the track. Todd Demery there getting up on 2 wheels. Takes Johnny Gallagher and the number 12 down with him. And on the inside, after that mistake early on, it looks like Kaiser has put himself into the number 1 spot. And that is Harold Goodman, a motocrosser, who was in second, but he's looking over as if he's basically telling Borich to have it. Bumblebee is actually focused now on GNCC this year, Harold Goodman, but it is definitely a tough transition for moto, especially when you have terrain and conditions like this. You've got to be kidding me. We've got to go 2 hours in this stuff. They got to keep the machines running. We got to keep vision and also somehow still try to go fast enough to win the race. I don't even know. And also, we have quite a history of these muddy conditions here at this track. As you see, the 15 is back into the lead of Pickens with Borich in second, but this is one of the worst races to have rain come down on. This Ohio clay, unlike the Georgia clay that we had earlier in the year that just gets soft. This stuff gets slippery to the tires and sticky on the plastics. So the machines are going to be carrying a lot of extra weight from all this roost. But it's going to be very difficult to maintain traction. So far, so good for the 15 of Pickens, who, like we said, has gotten the lead back and has kept his machine fairly clean. Same with Borich here in second. Everyone else is pretty much covered. And really, on this track, I would think the riders almost want it to keep raining. If it stops raining and starts to dry out, that's when it really gets tacky, really gets sticky. And it would not be uncommon for these guys to, I'm not kidding, carry over 200 pounds of mud on machines. Johnny Gallagher did once weigh his machine after the race. And that's how much you can collect here in these gnarly conditions. And as far as telling you who is where, I know it's the 15 of Pickens in the lead and the 1 of Boric in the number 2 spot. But beyond that, it's anyone's guess. These machines are covered already. I believe that's Kaiser who just went by. And Goodman is still there in the top 5. Then you got some of the Can-Am riders coming through. KTM of Brian Cook also in the group. But it is going to be a survival race today. Just got to get to the finish line first to first finish. Let's see who does. Stay tuned. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am and by Rocky Mountain ATV MC and Yamaha. Well, as you can see, the rain continues to come down here, and Jeff Pickens taking advantage of that. His machine is completely clean. Same thing with the Boric Kaiser coming through next. And good to see the 784 Brandon Summers finally up front. He's had a miserable season dealing with the effects of mononucleosis. He is a former XC2 class champion. You see these sections here up on the high ground are not quite so muddy. There's the 13 of Chris Bindle, his typical bad start. Now we got a battle going on for the lead. I believe that is Boric trying to get around Pickens with Kaiser in 3rd. And there's Summers. Good to see Brent Sturdivant up there, privateer, followed by McGill. This mulch pit is an infamous section, but you do not want to get roosted on the rider in front of you when you're coming through this area. A bit further back, we expect to see some of our XC2 riders maybe break through in these really tough conditions. Sometimes they can make a run for the overall. And it's Josh Kirkland on the KTM leading that field around here early in the race. Back up front, looks like Pickens is not messing around. He is holding off your defending GNCC champ Boric, running along the fence line here. And they're just trying to keep these guys on high ground as much as possible and rerouting some of the course. You get deep in the woods and have uphills and downhills, you are just going to have nothing but traffic jams and bottlenecks with this much mud and standing water. So the conditions are pretty gnarly for these guys. It was a lot better this morning when the 4-wheel drive machines, the women's, the super senior classes, and the rest got to take this track. Let's show you the highlights. Look at how much different it is. There's actually dust in the first turn as the 205 of Kristen Atwell grabs the whole shot in the women's class. Here's 4x4 Limited Michael Swift and Scott Kilby side by side battling for the lead on pretty much bone stock Can-Am Outlanders. And that's Kevin Trantham getting the lead over Jack Ramsey in 4x4 Lights. Then we have the Unlimited 4x4 class. So far an undefeated season for Cliff Beasley. Here's the 204 of Swift still leading the way in Limited and trying to run for the overall. I'll tell you, these 4-wheel drive riders probably wish we had the rain and the mud we had this afternoon in their race. They could have been up front for the overall. Pretty cool how it turns out. You saw how gnarly this section was in the afternoon. These big 4-wheel drive machines with 4-wheel independent suspension and 25-inch tall tires, the sections are nothing. Dave Simmons is the man to beat in Super Senior. There's Kristen Atwell, points leader so far in the women's class. There's some mud for the 4-wheel drive guys to take on. No problem. And I'll tell you, these hills, the cameras belie how steep they are. And that shows you how impressive these riders are and these machines are. Here we are battling in the mulch pile. This is Simmons and Atwell still going on it. Hardcore. Now there is a just-in-time on the side of these riders, so you rarely get to see them battle bar to bar on the track. When it was all said and done, Kristen Atwell grabbed the overall win and the victory in the women's class. Now the boys. Chris Boric here looking to take down all the boys in our afternoon race. He has now pulled the lead. Kaiser, I believe, is up to 2nd. Pickens back to 3rd. Yeah, I'm just guessing, but I'm pretty sure that's actually still up front is Sturdivant. Now back to that really nasty section, which ends with a hill climb. Borich keeping his momentum up until there. Kaiser, who said he's not happy with those second place finishes, is battling for second and third right now, but he wants more. There is Sturdivant, I guess. You've got Summers. And Adam McGill right there in the hunt. Brian Cook coming through next. Also, Jared McClure coming by on the National Guard Polaris. But Borg's going to try to get away. Now, under normal circumstances, you see Borg tend to hang back early in these races, but I don't know in the mud if you want to take that chance. You're going to get roosted or maybe get stuck behind another rider if he gets stuck if you're not in the lead. So everyone's pushing a little bit harder, I'd say, earlier in this one. Now that we put a lap down and they know which way the track goes and they know where all the bad lines are, they can put the hammer down. And that's exactly what we're seeing come to fruition today as Cook brings up the back of that train, just hoping for a mistake from someone. This is so tough. These hills are so slick here in Ohio, and Kaiser demonstrates. And if he gets stuck at all or slows at all, Pickens is going to run right into him. There is McGill coming through next to the number 3, the Can-Am, and you cannot wait. Oh, there's Don Ackerman, our first view of him today. Maybe it's not. I really can't tell what's what in these muddy conditions. We do know this. Checker flag's coming out, so stay with us. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and by Yamaha. Well, we'll string together a nice grass track section out here in the fields and let these guys have at it. It's probably a little bit of relief for riders like Chris Borich, who just went by leading this race. They've been battling and battling their way through the woods, and this is a section to catch your breath, save some energy, maybe also yank a tear off or a roll off on the goggles. Now you might see passes in this section a little bit later in the race where the guys are really going for it. But right now, like I said, I think it's a game to just try to not get stuck behind someone in front of you. Give the guy a little bit of room in case he does make a mistake. You don't get tangled up with him. As Borich leads Kaiser, that's no surprise. Those have been the top two, both last year and this year. Kaiser did tell us earlier today, if you just joined us, he's not happy with those second place finishes. There's a battle going on in the fields. I believe that is McGill making a move. You see the number 7. That is Ackerman. Then Brian Cook comes by. Here's Borich trying to open it up on his Rockstar Yoshimura Suzuki. Kaiser in second. Great job by Pickens hanging in there in third. And it is Sturdivant still running with the leader. Here's McGill. I believe that is Summers. And Cook back there, still hanging tough, the man from North Carolina. Back to the open stuff. Borg's actually got some fans cheering him on. Wheeling over that muddiest section. Nice job there. And look at this charge. Pickens in third is not letting Kaiser go. He wants that number 2 spot back. And McGill has climbed up to 4th. He's gotten around Sturdivant. Then it's Summers and Cook still. And Cook with the goggles around the handlebar. It doesn't matter how many, that's what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter how many tear-offs or how much roll-off film you have. Eventually the goggles are going to go by the wayside. You're doing about a 10-mile lap. On these conditions, in these conditions, here's Borich into the pits. That's welcome relief for him. Wow, some sunshine's actually out. Here he is at the Rockstar Yoshimura Suzuki pit. He's getting the hookup. Same thing with Kaiser at the factory Yamaha tent. And through it all, that is Brent Sturdivant going to grab the lead ahead of Borich. So Sturdivant says, I'm not going to stop. I want to go to the number 1 spot. There is McGill who gets out in 4th. Cook is in the KTM pit. Bithell is in the Can-Am pit. And they got a lot of people down there to try to get these riders and these machines as clean as possible, and that'll last for about this long. You're already going to get roosted and muddy again. All right, back to this action in a moment. We got to get to our Rocky Mountain Spotlight. Today we're going to check out the G-Force XC aluminum ATV wheel, which retails starting at $39.99. It's a lightweight yet strong aluminum wheel for sport ATVs, engineered with a double rolled lip for increased strength and resistance to abuse. Made from durable, heat-treated 5052 aluminum alloy with an anodized finish. And that finish is either polished aluminum or matte black. As far as mounting it up, features pressed-in aluminum lug nut rings so tapered lug nuts can be used, and this ensures the wheel is perfectly centered on the wheel hub. Again, it starts at $39.99. Go to RockyMountainATVMC.com for more on that G-Force XC ATV wheel. Can't tell what kind of wheels any of these guys are running today. They are covered in mud. A couple of the guys you see have rings on there to prevent the mud from going into the wheel and adding more weight to the machine. Somehow Brian Cook is now up to second ahead of McGill. And Kaiser has now dropped back to the number 4 spot, so things have been changed up quite a bit. But through it all, Borich maintains the lead. Look out! Riders getting all sorts of sideways on these hills, and that's what we're talking about. Disaster can strike at any moment, and if you were behind one of those machines while that was going on, that could be the end of your race. There is Borich trying to pick his way through this section and hoping he doesn't have one of those lap riders take him down. And they've all figured out the right way to go, which is the right side of that hill climb. It's definitely the long way around, but it's the easier way, and that's all the difference in muddy races like this. Cook is still in second. We've got Kaiser and McGill up there, then Ackerman, who has worked his way back to the front. This is just flat, nasty, folks, and what a test of endurance it's going to be for the machines to make it to the finish. Stay tuned. Racer TV is brought to you by Can-Am, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and by Yamaha. Well, this is about as bad can get. Chris Borich back into this potential bottleneck section, still going to the right side, and that's a good move. Again, it's a longer way around, but it's a lot safer. That is, Ackerman's going to go straight up the middle. Is it going to work? It does. He makes up some ground there. He's got McGill right behind him, so look out. These guys are going to make up some distance. And now we see Kaiser is back on the radar, and he's got to take chances now to make up ground, and it pays off. He made it to the top. Now a new line is formed all the way to the right. These riders have to be careful. You have to stay within 25 feet of the course markings. Another rider straight up the middle. I believe that was Bithell. But who can tell for sure? I know one thing, the Iron Cross front bumper of Chris Borich. It's been up front at most of these races the last few years, and he wants to be up front at the end of this one. That's Ackerman coming through next, McGill in third, and let's try to find Taylor Kaiser and see if he can at least make a run for the podium and salvage some points. There he is, hammer down. Can he get to at least McGill for third? Then Cook, who was second, momentarily has dropped back, and that might be a byproduct of him going to the right on that hill climb. Then it is Bithell, who won our race just 2 weeks ago in North Carolina. Of course, the goggles hanging on the side of the handlebars. Those things are toast. Now this is the Sunday Creek motocross track. Normally some big airtime there, but not under these conditions. Borich can barely even see. He's definitely not able to get any traction. And he probably is just hoping that the next thing he finally does see is a checkered flag, or maybe he'll just feel a pat on the back. But either way, he's going to win one of the muddiest GNCCs we've had in a long time, and that's saying a lot. We've had a lot of muddy races. It looks like McGill is going to slither through next. So good job by the Warner Can-Am team to keep that machine running, get it to the finish. Good job by the Yoshimura Suzuki team to take the win with Borich. And Ackerman is going to take third. Nicely done.
Donnie, another podium finish for you this year. You had a crash on the start. How did everything go for you out there?
Yeah, I got flipped over right off the bat. Me and Bithell got into each other, and I'd biked the track the day before. I knew some good lines and got up front there pretty quick. And it's just luck out in the mud. A couple bottlenecks paid off for me. And the last lap there, I just took some good lines and ended up second for a long time, and Adam snuck up on me. He snuck up on me and passed me. He's a pretty smart rider.
All right. Well, good job out there today. Hopefully we'll see you up here more often.
Thank you very much.
Okay, but now we hear they are revising the results and pushing Taylor Kaiser up to second because he went through a section everyone else went around. Crazy. But I don't think Krista or Adam know it yet.
Adam, you finally broke that streak of thirds today for a second. Tell us how it went.
As you can see, it was pretty wet, pretty sloppy, but you know, it was a lot of fun today. The Can-Am worked really well. A lot of people say that the electrical systems and stuff are pretty bad in the water, but seemed to do pretty good today.
All right, well, good job.
Thank you very much. Hopefully we can get in the middle, but you know what, consistency is a good thing, and I think we're pretty consistent.
Definitely.
Thanks.
Boric extends his points lead over Kaiser. Ms. McGill, Bithell, and Ackerman rounding out the top 5. Let's talk to your series champ.
Chris, it's been one of the craziest races we've had in a long time. Tell us how it went.
Well, I really don't know how it went. It was just pretty crazy. You were either leading or pretty far back, and it was just it was a fun track, but there was just so many lines out there and so many bottlenecks that you just didn't really know where you were at the whole time. But happy to be up here on the box and win the thing, and I don't know, nothing else to say really.
All right, well, maybe next race another win.
Yeah, thanks.
Let's check out the Yamaha race recap. Jeff Pickens gets the lead, then gets stuck. That puts Taylor Kaiser in the number 1 spot. Pickens would get the lead back, and that would pretty much be the theme of the day. So many lines, things going on all over the place. So much so that we weren't even sure what the results were when the checkered flag first flew. It was Boric over Kaiser early on. Look at how nasty this stuff got. Different riders going different ways, some going to the right of the big hill climb, some going straight up the middle. Boric led the majority of this thing in all but 1 lap. That part was easy. The battle for the podium positions was wild, and in the end, due to a penalty, Taylor Kaiser is put where he apparently should have been, which is second, with McGill and Ackerman rounding out the top 4. But Chris Boric wins again. Congrats to him. For Krista Shaw, I'm Jason Wygant. Thanks for watching.